and to help guide the future. So I went to the board and I presented 10 different ways that we can raise money. And some of it raises little dollars, and some of it raises big dollars. But altogether, it's going to help us build a cohort of people interested in what you all have been interested in for years and years and years, being members of the Historical Society. So this plan is designed for those people, and maybe foundations, large corporations, to make large gifts. But I also want to be sure that we have some mechanisms in place for the young people in our community who are on social media all the time. And you know, they might say, oh, I could give $5, $10 to that once a month or something like that. So anyway, that whole gamut. The other reason that I'm thrilled to be able to talk to all of you is one of the tenets of fundraising is that no matter how wonderful your mission is, no matter what it is you're doing, and to making this world a better place, people give to people. In other words, it makes an enormous difference on who asks for the money. And therefore, the more people that we have in our group who understand the importance of what we're doing, the more tentacles we have in the community to just talk about it. And when I say ask, there is a whole array, a whole plan that you go through when you ask. The ask is the very end of it. You get people interested in what you're doing. You get them involved. You tell them how you're involved. You just talk about it, and then you listen to people to know whether this resonates with them. Is this something they start to say, oh yes, and then they start talking and whatever. Then you know that perhaps it might be time to have Rod or myself or someone on the board come and talk to these people. We're not asking any of you to go out and ask your friends for money. We want you to be ambassadors in the community, talk about why you are so interested in this, and then gauge people's interest, and then let us know if you think that somebody might be interested in this. So let me go through my 10 ways to make money. I'm going to start with the big ones. I'm going to start with big and end with big. We are starting what we're calling a corporate partner program. We're calling it the Stewardship Circle. And it is going to be mostly geared toward businesses in Overland Park. But I think we will certainly have some foundations and some individuals that will fall into these categories. To be a member of the Stewardship Circle, which means their name is going to be on a plaque at the Historical Society, their names are going to be in the newsletter on the website, and they're going to get some recognition for their help. So we're going to start, the buy-in at this level is $2,500 a year. And for many, many companies in Overland Park, that is doable. That is a range that a lot of companies do across the board of those people that come to ask them for funds. And then the next level is $5,000. The next is $10,000. And I was going to stop at 10, and the board said, no, we don't want to stop at 10. So we have a $25,000 level. So those are the people that we are truly asking to be our co-investors. These are the people that we want, people, companies, foundations, to understand that they are going to be the bedrock of this fundraising. And so as Rod alluded to in his remarks, this money is absolutely going to go toward bringing on a curator, bringing on people who can help with exhibits, people who can help us transform this wonderful place that we have and this trove of wonderful artifacts and photos and all of that. They're going to be able to transform that into the story that we want to be able to tell. So we need someone who is a historian, who is someone who has been trained. And we had the opportunity last week of talking with a professor at the University of Kansas. And there are, I mean, he has a whole class of master students getting their master's degree in history. And they all want to work in a museum. And they all need to start somewhere. So it is, I feel like we have a job out there that some very qualified young people would be interested in helping us create. So most of these larger gifts are going to go toward what I call our aspirational goals. It's not going to pay the light bill, but it's going to help the organization grow. The next is we need to increase the number of friends, increase the number of members that we have in the organization. And this is a much easier ask for all of us. And this is you all know that to become a member of the society right now is $40. The board started their Friends program, starts at $100. So these are very doable amounts, but it's going to build our donor base. It's going to get more people involved. So the next goal is to increase our membership. And when I was talking about the stewardship circle, I mentioned grants. Another way to go, or probably the best way to go for a grant, is to have a program that you want to fund. And so that could be talking to someone, to one of the local foundations that's especially interested in education and programming and doing not just the executive, the curator, but then what it's going to take to build exhibits, what it's going to take to make this program the best it can be. Expand the program that Brad is doing in the schools. So all of our grants will probably be geared towards programming. We also want to do temporary exhibits. So we're going to have exhibit sponsors. And I'm going to just give some of these to each table here. These are just some general ideas about, you need one more, about the kinds of programs we might be able to, exhibits we might be able to do. And by temporary exhibits, I mean something that will be there for 4 months, 6 months. You know, we don't want it to disappear immediately, but we want it there so that we can put it in next week and then come back. So these are just ideas, but it gives you an idea of what we're talking about. And then on the back is how to do the fundraising for that. You get a primary sponsor, big name over it. Shamrock Trading presents this exhibit type of thing, and then other people in it. So as we're doing this, I'm creating a menu for people to choose, how they might like to help. And so sponsoring an exhibit goes on to that menu. Did everybody get one? And then the depot has the potential of being a wonderful community space. And so the board is working on another one of my points, which was, let's get a rental fee schedule on the books. Let's let people know how much it costs to come in and have their meeting there. It costs to have that building open. So, and people are used to paying for meeting space. So that's, Brad and Paul Lyons are working on that fee schedule, which will be modest. I think they're going to stay in line with what is charged at Matt Ross, which is already below market. So it will be very attainable for people.